Do you have any lightweight or competition crawlers, and are you looking for a motor that is the tiniest little torque dense one that you can find? Well, unfortunately you can't buy these anymore, but I still would like to talk about the SS Team Spec Revolver that we just came out with, and evidently I didn't get enough of. So I had scheduled the video for these SS Team Spec Revolvers, SS standing for either super snub nose, super short, super stubby, super special, whatever it is. And it is essentially a competition motor that I did a little bit of re-engineering on our normal revolver type. And the reason why I did that was for two reasons. One is weight savings and two is space savings. And as compared to a typical revolver, it is 2 millimeters shorter. And sometimes that 2 millimeters can make a difference. Now, it is 2 millimeters of active motor, which means that when we go from a 10 millimeter stator to an 8 millimeter stator, that we do lose 20% of our torque and 20% of our drag brake. So there's always going to be a downside to these sort of changes. However, in the average comp rig, it is light enough, under 7 pounds or so with lots of gear down, that it really doesn't matter that much. The startup is still going to be extra smooth. There's still plenty of drag, plenty of torque. Even this little guy is about 3 times the torque of a sealed can 540 in the same kV range. So I think we can spare just a little bit of motor. So I cut it down as lightweight as I could. We used lighter weight wires, and we managed to knock 12 grams off of the weight, which is fairly substantial. We went from 89 to 77 grams on this, and it's only 25 millimeters long. She's just a teeny little guy. It was a really fun project for me, and we offered them as a limited edition, and I thought I got enough to last, maybe a month or so, that they wouldn't sell out so fast. And if you are aware of these motors already, then you know it crashed our website with all of the traffic that came to buy them. The first round sold out in a minute, the second round sold out in a minute, the third round sold out in a minute, and the fourth round sold out in 1 minute. I did not expect this. I would like to say thank you for the support. I really appreciate this. So do my employees, that people are actually watching and they appreciate the sort of work that we do on these. Now, this was more of a pet project of my own, but at the same time, we're all a crew at the shop. And so just wanted to say thank you for the support. And it's amazing to have our website crashed. Also, Jonathan, who is our web guy, would like to say that he's very disappointed in you because you ruined his 8-year streak of never having our website down for a moment unless he intentionally put it down. But y'all went 60-fold over the capacity of our server. We had to put 32 cores on the job and 64 gigabytes of RAM just to keep up with it. And we almost crashed the site again. He spooled it up once and y'all crashed it immediately, and he spooled it up a second time with that 32 core, and then it just barely kept up. So what I would like to do, we still have a few of them left that are not going to be sold, and they're going to be special ones for essentially me. And also I would like to do a giveaway for the users. So when this video drops, you have 2 weeks to comment down below, and then I will choose somebody from the comments to win one of these motors. More than likely you weren't able to get them. We know that there's a lot of people that were upset that you didn't get them. So I understand. So I'd like to give you that chance. I held a couple more for myself than I probably should have just for this. But I'm going to be using mine in this custom Bastard Junior project. It's an old school chassis. I had to cut it right here on the side to give enough access for this TGH2 low transmission. It has included overdrive, I believe 15% overdrive on this model, and it's going to be going with Capra axles and some custom links. It's going to be a really fun project, and it's a super lightweight build. It has tons of gear down, so it's going to be very well suited to this 2250 kV choice that's really lightweight. And it's going to let me weight bias really well. Now, I could always go with a heavier motor. This is a front facing motor, but it's more of a, I want to see what we can do with this particular motor and see how well it works in this sort of build. Get just a lightweight comp style build. This is like an old comp build, but I'm using parts that were not available back then. I'm going to be using wheels and tires that completely would not be comp spec along with wheelbase. So it's just going to be a fun rig for me to go wheel, and that's what I'm going to use on there. Now, while it is a shame that a lot of people were not able to get them, I do understand that people want a motor like this. However, I don't want to keep a motor like this in the catalog. This is not something that you can just throw into any rig and go wheel for hours at a time. It has thinner wires on there. It is more likely to overheat. And most of the ready-to-run vehicles and, the 2-speed rigs out there, I just don't want the risk of that getting out there as a major item. This is more of a very custom comp spec item. So what I'm gonna do is develop a version 2 for later in the year. It may not be called the SS Team Spec, it may be called Comp Spec, it may be called something different, but I will be making a good bit of changes to the case on there and also the magnetics on there so that it's really a V2 and not just another run, because this was a limited run motor, and I don't want to just release another one of the same thing. That defeats the purpose of doing a limited run, in my opinion. And again, I don't want these to sit on the shelves as far as being something that you can just buy. This is really, it's just a custom item that I don't feel that a lot of people really want. So I'm not going to send them out to A-Main. It's just something that's going to be an in-house short run custom item. And then that way we can get more feedback directly to us and we know exactly who got them. And that's always nice. And I feel for products like this that are more competition tuned, pretty much all competition tuned, let's be honest here, that it's going to be a little bit easier for us to do the best product possible if we don't just send them out everywhere and not know what it's going in or where it's going to. Who are you and what can I do to get you running better? So that's really the biggest reason why we had these as limited run and not available to other vendors. As far as the V2 or whatever it's going to be called, V2, we'll just call it right now, it might be released in about 4 months or so. So if you did miss this batch, look out for one in the future. I wish it's coming faster, but things take a while to build, and I also have to complete the redesign of it, and that takes time, which I love doing. It's probably the best part of my job besides playing with these toys. Let's call them adult toys today. I'm gonna get away with it, and I'm gonna be fine with it. So if you do have any questions about this motor, leave your comments down below and I'll do my best to get to them. But otherwise, I do thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you had a good luck to get one if you wanted one, but if you don't, comment down below and you will have another chance to win one. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.